Alrighty, you ready, Mingos? Alright. Okay. Hi. Alright, so we're going to work on teaching Leave It. Leave It is my go-to cue. It's a universal cue for whatever that is. It's not for you. I use it on the trail for horse manure, particularly often, bits of trash, weird things of food on the street that you see. Sometimes I use it for stuff that I drop in the kitchen, when I drop something that's definitely not safe for the dogs to eat. A lot of times I use it when we've got a thing in the, hi Dwight, Mr. Shroot here would like to be a part of this. A lot of times I use it in the environment walking down the street when there's a squirrel darting across the road, a strange cat hanging out, or even another dog where my dogs are kind of like, yeah, I would like to check that out. Leave It means it is not for you. I need you to redirect onto me. And so the way that I teach it is really simple to start, and it will start with the really easy one. I'm going to take two different types of treats. One, I'm going to use something benign, like this is the free samples of kibble here that I've pulled out, or like a milk bone or something like that. And I'm going to put it in my hand, kind of loosely holding it in my left hand. My right hand is going to go behind my back. And with Mango here, I'm going to just kind of hold it out. He's super food motivated, remember? So he's going to be super interested in this. He's going to sniff it. I've got it set up so he cannot get to them, right? They're kind of, my hands kind of closed around it. Got it? And then I'm going to ask him to leave it. And as soon as his nose comes away from my hand, I'm going to mark it. Leave it. Good job. And I'm going to reward from the other hand with something of higher value. A specific type of training treat, a little piece of cheese, a piece of hot dog. What I want is to be able to offer, leave it. Good job, buddy. Is to be able to offer something to him and have him turn his hand away from it. So then the next step to that is I'm going to come in closer where you can see my hands a little bit better. I'm going to crouch down here. And I've got it in my hand. Leave it. Good job. And I'm going to pull it out from over here. Then I'm going to set this piece down on the ground right here. And I'm going to cover it with my hand so he can't get to it. Leave it. Good job, buddy. And then I'm going to offer him another reward from my other hand. Now, this is a great one. You can play this one on the couch while you're just kind of sitting there. So if I wanted to come down, I can kneel down here. And I've got it with one hand here. I'm going to cover. Leave it. Good job. And then I'm going to reward from the other hand as something of more value. That's why I like to use like milk bone treats or even just bits of food and kibble. Those work great for Mango loves all food, so it's not really a big deal with him. But for other dogs like my shepherds are a little bit more discerning, and they're like, well, I left that, but what are you going to trade me for it? The idea here is we're creating trade. We are creating a system of trade for these. Leave it. Good job. So if he leaves something, he gets something in exchange for it. This is really important that we always exchange for the leave it. So in the case of a cat, like Fenris is being really agitated by a cat, when we ask him to leave the cat, we need to have a plan of attack from there. We should have treats ready to redirect him or redirect him onto a toy or a game with us so that he's got somewhere for his mind to go when he's left the cat. It's always a trade. Leave it always means a trade. For my guys, one of the key moments where I realized how powerful and how important it was that I had spent so much time on Leave It with my dogs, particularly my two girls. And a lot of it was because of horse manure on the trail. Honestly, Kaylee thought that was the greatest thing ever. And it's really not that harmful for them. It's just nasty. And so I had taught them a good, strong Leave It for the trail, but we were out hiking one day and something darted across this. We were up on these old access roads and something darted across the road and dove into a culvert for a drainage ditch. And it took me a few seconds to process what it was, but man, the girls were on it. Both Banshee and Kaylee took off chasing this thing at full speed. And I realized a few seconds later what it was. It was a skunk. This was November. We were up in the mountains about 45 minutes from home, and it was snowing. So that car ride home, had they encountered that skunk very closely, it was going to be miserable. Never mind the fact that I was never going to get that smell of skunk out of my car. Like, there's just no way the Jeep would ever be clean again. And I stopped dead in my tracks and I screamed at the top of my lungs, leave it. And they both stopped, turned around and came back. And I gave them probably a half a bag worth of treats at that moment because it was the greatest celebration of Leave It ever. So for Leave It, it means it's trade. You walk away from that thing, you ignore that thing, I will engage with you. So for Fenris and the cat, When he starts to get too intent on the cat, ask him to leave it. Say, Fenris, leave it. Redirect him onto you and ask him to do something good for you. Even if it's a simple sit or playing the touch game. Anything like that will work to give him something better to think about. Throw a toy for him a couple of times across the living room and get his attention away from the kitty cat. You do that often enough and frequent enough, at a certain point, the cat's going to lose his appeal, right? Because every time he tries to interact with the cat, he's sort of diverted off of it to give the cat a break. Now, as he gets better and he starts to, he's being more respectful and he's not quite as interested in the cat, you can, loosen up on that rule a little bit. But to start with, we should be pretty strict about the whole, let's leave the kitty alone, because Fenris hasn't learned how to regulate himself with the cat yet. So we're going to help him do that by just not giving him an opportunity to get too excited and too forward with the cat. He thinks it's play, but there's a big size difference between the two of them. Cats often don't appreciate the way dogs play. So again, we're going to practice Leave It with Tango here really fast. I've got some kibble in my hand. I'm going to offer it to him just like this. My hand is covering it, so he cannot get to it, but he can definitely smell it. And I'm going to ask, leave it. Oh, he got one. Leave it. Yes, good boy. Now, when we get a mistake like that and he can get one, man, his tongue is long. He gets one, it's fine. Just keep going. Just keep going. Now, the secret to this is we're going to stand right back up with my poor niece. The secret to this is making sure that what you've asked him to leave, he doesn't get. Otherwise, we kind of undo it and we have to go back to the beginning and start again. Now, so we've done that. We've gotten that practice pretty good. When you can get to a point where you can set something down on the ground with him and tell him to leave it, and you don't really have to be covering it right away, kind of hover your hand there so you can cover it, etc. Practice it to the point that you can set it down and say, leave it, and he goes, okay, well, I won't touch it. I'll wait for my trade, right? And when that happens, what you're going to do is you're going to bust out the leash. This is another good one for those days where you're really tired. Because the only requirement is that he move I just dropped all my stuff out of here. The only real requirement of it is he move his nose away from it, right? Like, we don't have to go anywhere. We can sit right on the couch and practice this one. We can sit on the floor and practice this one. So I'm going to take a couple of pieces of kibble and I'm going to put them in this little dish. I'm using a dish so that I have kind of control over where this is going. And I'm going to use a leash because eventually my goal is to be able to walk past it and say leave it and just have him walk away, right? But Mango's is probably not there yet. Mango's food drive is so strong that actually food is one of those things that we should probably work on Leave It more with. Just so that we don't have to worry about that. Because he'll eat anything, man. I mean, he'll just scarf anything down, including lettuce. So what I'm going to do is I've got a bowl. This little dish here has some kibbles in it. It's just a few, not a lot. And I'm going to set it down right next to my foot. Oh, no. Hold on. Let's try it this way then. Leave it. Good job. And I'm setting him up to succeed here, right? Like, we're just going to hold it. Leave it. Good job, buddy. It's going to come down. Leave it. Good boy. Good job. Good job. Now for Mango's, this is like, so I've got my foot and I can cover the kibble that's in there. That's why I've only got a couple. Dwight, you don't need that. You should teach the cat, leave it. I've only got a couple of kibble in there, and I don't want too many because I don't want to make it too hard for him or too hard for me to help him by covering it with my foot. So I've got it uncovered here. The cat, he's not even remotely concerned about it. Good boy. So I'm going to move it. Leave it. Good job, buddy. Now that we've got that, the cat is leave it. Mango's leave it. Yeah, good job. Now you see I'm using the leash to kind of help him so that he can't leave it. Good boy. So that he can't do that. So we're going to come up here. Come here. Walk past. I'm going to set this down. Leave it. Yeah. Oh, we stole it. Fail. Okay, let's try it again. The cat is eating it, which is making Mango's incredibly anxious because he feels like he's missing out on something. He's not. Leave it. Good job, buddy. Okay, so leave it. Mango, leave it. Yeah, good job. So other things that I can do while we're doing it stationary here is I've got it. Leave it. Yeah, good boy. I can toss his cookies over there to help him walk away from it and help drive that home. Other things I can do. Mango's leave it. Good job. is keep him moving, right? We're gonna go right past it. Mangoes, leave it, leave it. Yeah, good boy. There's nothing in there anymore because the cat has eaten it all. Yeah, good job. Drop some. You know, he would never eat this if I was like feeding it to him. Thankfully, it's just dog food. It's not gonna hurt him. Leave it. Mango, leave it. Good job. All right, come here, buddy. Let's go. Leave it. Yeah, good job. I'm trying to help him as much as I can. So get it. We're going to help him walk away from that. The cat is really making this harder. Leave it. Good job. And so my goal is I want to be able to walk right past it. Leave it. Leave it. Yeah. There's nothing in there now, but he still thinks there is. Mangoes. We're going to go right past. Leave it. Yeah, good boy. Good job. Just like that. We're going to practice it as many different ways and as many different times as we can. In an environment like this, I might actually set him up to succeed a little bit more. Put some of these way over there. Come here. Touch. Tango, touch. Good job. Now, we're just going to practice working around right here. Leave it. Yay! Good boy. Good job. And walking away. He knows it's there. Mangoes, leave it. Yeah! Good job. Good boy. And that's how we start leave it. That's how we're going to practice it. Now, it's going to have the same effect with the cat, right? So let's say we're going to come over here and I can't really work on the cone or with Buck there. Anyway, so we'll pretend that Dwight here is actually what he's excited about and he's going to get, Mangoes, leave it. Yes, good job. And I can give him a couple, right? Because there's nothing in that bowl anymore. Dwight ate it all. So he's going on a diet tonight. Anyways, that's a good thing. I'm going to get this uploaded to YouTube for you, Nick. And then I will see what else I need to send you.